This is the A&K SR-25. There's a few manufacturers of the SR-25. As far as I know, A&K is the cheapest, right around $200 last time I checked. This is pretty much how you will get it. Some sites offer a hand grip like that, pretty basic hand grip. It has flip up adjustable sights, the rear and the front. Just to mention, I did paint it. I put a glossy black on it and a little bit of gold along the silencer here. The original color, you can see it on the mag. This is kind of bluish gray. Some neat features about this is the dust cover. It works. Well, mine doesn't. It's missing a small piece that goes right here to lock it in, but when it's new, and hopefully it won't break, I guess that can be considered kind of a con. A little bit of a cheap part. I think just a screw came loose, part fell off. Not really that big of a deal, but that can be held closed when the lock is on it. And then the charging handle works. You pull that back, that will flop down. You just smack the thing like that. The charging handle needs to be pulled back to expose the hop up in here. That's the hop up dial right there. The silencer is really easy to take off. You just pop this little thing. It'll slide forward on a spring and it can be removed. A little bit of the tip here will be painted orange. I painted over it when I put the glossy black on it. It has only this one rigid sling support, but if you want to, you can either get something to put up here on the rail or just clip it into this little bar up here. There's some all along the front handguard. You can clip a sling on. The real steel version of this is a .308 caliber, so they kind of kept with that, and the magazine for it is a bit bigger. If you compare it here to a regular M4, you can see that the regular M4 mag is thinner. This one's wide. The M4's mags don't work in it at all. They're just way too small. You're going to have to spend a little bit extra for the .308 mags. Mine came with the 300 round high cap magazine. Works pretty good, although mine, I will warn you, if you wind it up too tightly, this little lock will get pushed back pretty easily and all your BBs will fly out. So don't wind it fully until it's in the magazine well, otherwise you may have a little bit of a mess. Now this SR-25 is meant to be a sniper rifle. You can use it as that. It works great. Semi-automatic, fully automatic capability as well. If you're going to use it as your main sniper, I suggest a Mad Bull 650mm PSG-1 tight bore barrel. It is a little bit bigger than the actual barrel, so you will have to keep the silencer on at all times, otherwise the little barrel will be exposed. The barrel changes on this are super easy. You just need to remove one thing. This will unscrew and two parts will come off, something over here, and then this Allen wrench bolt will be taken off. And then you're going to have to use a small screwdriver and just push this out like a pin, and then it'll separate here along the seam. Just pulls out. You just have to disconnect the hop up and all that, put the new barrel on. Super simple. It was the first barrel change I've ever done, and I did it without really too much of a problem. You can see you have your fire selector switch. It's safe, semi, full auto. Another problem I have is when it's on safe, it'll still actually fire in semi-automatic, just like as if it's right here on semi. These two, like, no difference. Auto works just fine, fires on auto. Something else I'm going to mention, on the underside of the gun, on the hand grip, there's a screw in here, flathead screwdriver. Just make sure this stays really tight. If it comes loose, the gears will grind. You want to avoid that. You'll know if it's happening. If that's happening, just make sure this is tight. It should solve that. Now the battery compartment is in the stock here, which I'm sure you've heard. The A&K stock feels like really cheap plastic. I guess it's not too bad, but it may be a cheaper plastic than what some other companies are using. I haven't had any problems with it, but I don't suggest using it as a club anytime soon. It might break. But the battery just goes right in here. Just flip that down, pop it open. There's the connector. There's a ton of space in here. I fit a 9.6 stick battery in there, which is a pretty big battery. I don't use this as a sniper rifle anymore. I have a few more that I like a little bit better, because you kind of blow through the expensive sniper ammo pretty quickly when you have a semi or fully automatic sniper. I only use the heavier 28 in it instead of the 20s. They just perform a lot better. And this gun has great options if you want to use it for something else. Has 3 rails here along the handguard on each side and on the bottom, and then the full rail along the top. You can put a huge scope, red dots, sights, pretty much anything. With all these rails and whatnot, they are all metal. It gives a lot of weight to the gun. I don't really want to speculate on the weight, but it's over 5 pounds, that's for sure. And because I don't use this as a sniper anymore, I decided to turn it into more of a light machine gun. Some changes are, I took this sight / carrying handle off an old broken M4. I bought the A&K high cap dual drum magazine. Holds about 3,000 rounds. Has a few options for winding it. There's one where it uses sound. As you fire the gun, it'll wind it. Then once you stop, it'll stop. Or you can just flip it on, turn it on, have it winding continuously. It also comes with a pressure switch. You can just press the button and it'll wind. I put a hand grip on the front rail, as well as a bipod. This is the bipod off the AGM MP001 bolt action sniper. I never used it on that, so I just threw it on this. I usually don't have the silencer on it, because it makes the gun like way too big. It's kind of obnoxious to run around with. Plus, with all these, it adds quite a bit of weight. This bipod is almost entirely metal, a few pounds there, and then this, when fully loaded, probably another few pounds. So it just makes it really huge, pretty awesome, devastating weapon, because it's really accurate for a light machine gun. Shoots pretty far and does well on fully automatic. It's not a really great rate of fire. I always use a 9.6 in it. I think 8.4s will work. It'll just be pretty slow. Probably won't last nearly as long. That's pretty much all the mechanics of it. Let's go shoot it. There's the target. I don't know the exact distance, but I think it's about 100 feet away. It's just a symbol. It's about a foot in diameter. I'm going to fire on full auto. I have a 9.6 battery in the gun, not the one that came with it. Should be able to see the pellets spraying around all about it. Here we go. Full auto. Not bad. Hit a few times. So that's pretty much that about the A&K SR-25 review. I guess I'll do a recap. It's an awesome sniper rifle. I suggest the longer 650mm tight bore precision barrel. Mad Bull makes a great one. Super easy to change. Just remove one pin. A&K isn't of the greatest quality. Kind of a cheap stock. I have a problem with this little part falling off. Also, the safety selector no longer works. There is no safe option for this up here, although I painted it over. As you remove or keep changing out the silencer, this will get scratched up a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. And last, if you're kind of small, I don't suggest it. It's pretty heavy. It'll wear you out pretty quick.